just sit away alone all by myself. I'm not just gonna stand here and wait. I wanna just decide what is to be my fate. Alone all by myself, I'm not just gonna stay here and wait.
Is this thing on? I think we're on the air. Hey, Verbo.
We are. Hello, hello.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our second vertical stream. Yeah, we are sideways. And we're looking okay on my phone right now, except you're covered up. So let's do something about that. Should be switching to side by side. Thank you everybody for joining us. This is our second experimental stream with the vertical format. This differs from our widescreen formatted news, which just went live or should have just gone live on our YouTube channel. That's a standalone thing, so you can watch the newscast from beginning to end on your own time. We're going to go over the stories on the newscast and have a little talk about each one and just hang out because this is a watch party. And hopefully we'll have a lot of fun tonight. So how are you doing today, Verbo?
I'm okay. Southern California is getting rocked by some flooding a little bit and some thunderstorms. So we may or may not keep power. And Gia, no, I'm not going to ban you. We're not doing that.
No, Gia, you're not getting banned. You're not getting banned just yet. You can get banned from Chili's, because remember, Chili is back at 9 o'clock, supposedly, tonight, if he hasn't already gone live. We are back at 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock where it counts, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, and 5 p.m. Pacific for our all-star panel that's leading up into Chili going live. I almost said Shuggy.
Right.
Almost said Shuggy.
Yeah.
I caught myself. I didn't say Shuggy. So, ha.
So insulting.
So
insulting.
I know. So
Maybe
let's
Chili will
watch
come on a few minutes early. Maybe he'll come on early
God.
and we can watch party him all together.
Oh God, we're not watch partying him because he's gonna strike the hell out of everybody who's used his content. So it's gonna be a bloodbath coming up from what I hear. So
yes,
yeah.
Vengeance is fresh on his mind. Yeah.
Yes, but we are planning to start the all-star panel tonight with a very special segment with Pants. So Pants, you better show up. You requested the time, so you're gonna get the time by yourself to do what you gotta do. So there. Remind me to send him a link if I haven't already. Ha! But let's go to the
excited or fear that.
A little of both. Because Pants has vodka and burritos, and
oh God.
Yes. I don't know if they're frozen or if they're warm from being in his pants, but
doesn't matter. They're both portable. You can do anything with both.
Yes, they are. Oh, good Lord. Let's try our first story. Let's see how this works. GoFundMe, the return of goose eggs. In a stunning development, no one won the GoFundMe crown for Saturday. With a combined $0 and 0 cents taken in for all of the campaigns, including our own ongoing expenses campaign, which went dead for the first time for the month. And guess what didn't render when I had to re-render it?
What?
the text. So, sorry, folks, you're going to be looking at a blank screen of LIA. Yes, that's Long Island Audits. Instead of the text you'll see in the other part of the stream. Sorry about that, but hey, he's entertaining to look at, and it will change. 7 days of goose eggs, of course, means the end of this column. While we're elated that it's day 1 of goose eggs, we're also in search of more crowdsourcing campaigns by First Amendment auditors to expand the list to provide a better view of the auditing world. If you know about campaigns on GoFundMe, GiveSendGo, or other platforms by auditors that we're not covering, please leave the links to the campaigns over in our general chat channel on our Discord server. That said, it was again no surprise that none of the auditors brought in donations for the 3rd straight day. With the heat wave gripping the United States right now, auditors are less prone to going outside to audit in the heat. Auditors are also less prone to work on videos or do anything with the heat. A quick check by the auditors on our list finds little new content and nothing that gives the impression that anything is coming that will bring substantial promotions to their campaigns or their channels. As far as the GoFundMe accounts themselves, let's examine the biggest of the active YouTubers with Sean Paul, Long Island Audits Riaz, multiple GoFundMe accounts. Long Island Audit's unlawful arrest and constitutional rights violation campaign sits at $2,326 and last saw a $25 donation 12 days ago. His Support the Fight Against Tyranny and Corruption campaign is worse. While it has a total of $51,186, it hasn't had a donation in 17 days. The LIA-run Fund Legal Defense Against Unlawful Arrest campaign hasn't had a donation in 22 days and is teetering on extinction. Also troubled are his help with criminal defense attorney for the case, which hasn't had a donation in 6 months, his help LIA with legal fees to fight Tyrant's lawsuit, which hasn't had a donation in 3 months, and his help with the billboard truck purchase to expose Tyranny Fund, which sits at $11,621 out of a $20,000 goal and hasn't had a donation in 17 days. With someone on the level of Long Island Audit struggling, as he has an active channel, a huge subscriber base, and has been putting out near daily content, the rest of the auditors should be worried about getting donations in this market. The first total goose egg in a while, it seems, is odd. But we can't give up now. 6 more days of frightening insecurity and inadequate compensation until this column goes away. We can do it! If we just pull together, take a deep breath, and oh yeah. If you'd like to keep our new YouTube channel stay up and keep us reporting new stories every day, we do have a GoFundMe of our own. All proceeds go to keeping the lights on, eating, and writing new stories to feature here and on reallycoolsite.org. Okay, that's our first story. Yes.
The real question, Jim, is twofold. Is he wearing lady sunglasses? And 2, what brand of lip gloss did you put on him in that 3D render? Because I want it.
I did not. That's the natural shininess of his lips. I didn't put that. That's just the way I made the character. I also liked how he appeared to be a little sweaty in that. So... But yes, they are ladies' glasses because I couldn't find anything to match whatever the hell he's wearing these days.
Is he the one that wears the corset, or is that one of the other ones?
Oh, he supposedly wears a corset, yes. But he's getting big. I mean, I'm a fat guy, but he makes me look small. So, yeah. It's a bizarre thing with him. Our next story is either going to be flashback or it's going to be Karen Reed. Because I didn't label these. So we've got. Let's try this. We've got either Karen Reed or Turtleboy. They both have pictures of Turtleboy in them, but Karen Reed or Turtleboy. Let's see which one this gives us. Prosecution answers Karen Reed motion. District Attorney Michael Morrissey filed a response to a defense motion in the Karen Reed murder case on Friday, urging the judge in the case to deny the motion that would see 2 of the 3 charges against Reed dismissed before the start of the retrial in the case. A mistrial was declared 2 weeks ago in the case, as the jury could not move forward on convicting Reed of any of the charges beyond reasonable doubt. After Reed's camp agreed to the mistrial, Alan Jackson, Reed's lead attorney and rumored romantic interest, filed a motion stating that they had heard from multiple members of the jury that the jury had voted to exonerate Reed of 2 of the... Wait a second, Gia. 5 million lira. That's what? 5 million lira is how much?
About $38, I think.
Okay, so Gia donated 5 million lira to keep things going, just because she hates me. This didn't work out as well as I wanted it to. The text is underneath chat now, when earlier it wasn't, so I give up. Let's see what happens if I do this. Give it a second to catch up. Ooh, that works. There we go.
There you go.
It's a little smaller, but still. The charges. Jackson's campaign hit all the major pro-Reed outlets and TMZ and Fox News with the word that her defense believed that Reed could not be tried again on the 2 charges, second-degree murder and leaving the scene of a personal death/injury caused by the driver. The defense claimed that the mistrial was sudden, brief, and unexpected, even though there were 2 days of deliberations with notes from the jury that they were hopelessly deadlocked. Attorney David Giannetti argued both times for the defense in favor of the mistrial, claiming that the jury had enough time to deliberate to come to a conclusion that a mistrial was warranted. Morrissey argues that despite the defense claims of multiple jurors making unsolicited contact with them, the defense accepted the mistrial and no verdict was rendered by the jury. In fact, the jury being hung was the reason for the mistrial, and despite claims otherwise, the jury indicated that they could not complete their job and render a verdict. No affidavits or statements have been offered by the defense by members of the jury to back the defense's claims. The jurors' identities are also being kept from the public for another week due to safety concerns. Morrissey further pointed out that notes from the jury did not indicate agreements on the 2 charges that the defense is now claiming were unanimous decisions in favor of Reed. The notes indicated otherwise, that the jury was deeply divided and could not find a way to move forward in the case. The defense, when given a chance to inquire about the charges the jury was deadlocked on, declined to do so, according to Morrissey, and the defense pressed for a Tui Rodriguez instruction to force the jury into one more attempt to deliberate. After the mistrial was declared, the defense did not object to the hearings set to discuss the retrial, nor did it act to attempt to reopen the case until after the members of the jury supposedly came forward. Morrissey argued that the Commonwealth should be able to retry Reed on all of the charges, as a mistrial was declared and accepted by the defense. He also argued that the defense's claims of double jeopardy cannot come into play, as Reed's trial ended without a verdict. A hearing on the motion is set for July 22nd, 2024. Okay, that seems to work better if we frame it just like that. You can actually read the text.
Yeah, no,
we're
nice.
learning as we go, folks. Learning as we go. But yeah, that seemed to work better. So, what do you think of this whole thing? And yes, I did put Turtleboy's character in any outfit besides the messed up teeth is naturally sweaty. I put a sweat filter on him and it's permanent. I can't get it off. So no matter what outfit you put him in, he's sweaty. And yes, the sweat is all over his body. So if you were to take his clothes off, and no one needs to see that, it's yes, pretty much.
I like the L. Ron Hubbard teeth you gave him. That's my favorite part.
Well, this was his, and that's from jail. So when I do the Karen Reed stuff will be outside of of jail and inside of jail and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, I know, because in the outro, you put a Turtleboy up with my stuff. So I gotta see Turtleboy
Well,
today.
we do have a new outro today for the vertical format.
Ooh.
I have no idea what's in it because I was just picking pictures at random before we started. So we've got the old music, we've got pictures, and we've got scrolling text. That's all I know. I have no idea what order they're in. That's what I was doing the 5 minutes before the show when you couldn't get me. It was like, oh, crap. Mind you, folks.
Well, the surprise for everyone. A surprise for everyone.
I was sick as a dog yesterday. I'm still not feeling good. I'm nice and medicated, but yeah. Last night I decided I was going to stay up and finish the articles so I could sleep in. And of course, I got the newspaper out about 4 a.m. Then I fell asleep and I got 5 hours of sleep and couldn't go back to sleep. So then I started working on the newscast in the vertical format and redoing stuff, and I haven't been back to sleep yet, but I'm powered on 5-hour energy right now. So someone's going to kill me. Rose is going to kill me too. I'm sure Gia's going to kill me 3. But yeah, I don't know if I'm doing that again tonight because I still have to write tomorrow's articles yet. And then Chili's going live at 9 o'clock, so it's going to be a fun evening. And I hope he doesn't go 3 hours. My God.
Oh. Either it's going to be like 5 minutes or 3 hours. I don't think there's going to be any in between. And he's going to be insufferable. Turtleboy, Trump, and Chili are going to be insufferable for the foreseeable future. It's going to be miserable, and I hate it already.
Yeah. Gia says I'm addicted to Robitussin and junk food. I didn't have any Robitussin today. I don't do Robitussin when I take 5-hour energy. I don't want a heart attack. Yes, John Paul McKenna. Yeah, I don't want to do that. John Paul McKenna, Chili was out was it Tuesday? Yeah, he's out. He hasn't done a live yet because he broke a front tooth. He hadn't... I didn't do Robitussin when I'm on crack. Jim. Oh, God, Pants caught that. I'm saying I didn't do Robitussin when I'm on the 5-hour energy. God. I don't know what the hell I'm saying right now. But yeah, he broke his front tooth. He's flabby because he's been eating all the care packages that they've been sending, which is 99% junk food. And let's see, what was the other thing? Oh, he had to get a haircut because he has to get a new hair fade. So he's got to fade his hair and probably dye it. Also, hello, Fonda, Facebook Fonda. For some reason, we are not streaming on Twitter. It gave me an error that I needed a paid Twitter account to stream in this format.
Oh, that's nice. Okay. Well, hello, Facebook.
Yeah. So, hi, Facebook, and sorry about that, Twitter. I don't know what the hell they're doing over there.
Well, it's not like they can hear you.
I know. Well, folks, this one is, if you thought the Turtleboy was scary, the next one, I don't know. Pants, you're too innocent. Look away. Look away, Pants.
Benson braves heat. Can't find Phil. The 60-something-year-old homeless man named Phil was the subject of a search by Regan Benson on Friday as she risked the high heat in Denver to go look for the man during the heat wave that is gripping the nation. Benson was armed with bottles of frozen water, chilled water, and electrolyte packs on Friday as she searched for a friend in downtown Denver. She had intended to pick Phil up to check his mail as he was still expecting documents to help end his homelessness. The YouTuber explained that Phil still hadn't received a copy of his birth certificate that he had requested several months ago. He was also awaiting a replacement copy of his Social Security card. Without both documents, Phil was unable to be placed in a slot for housing last month and ran the risk of losing another opportunity for permanent housing that had just come up. Benson claimed that Phil was no longer a priority for the city of Denver, as he had been on the streets for over 15 years now, and the city considered him too old to focus on. She returned to her idea that Denver is setting up older members of the homeless population to die by making it harder to be put into permanent shelter, as most of the older homeless people do not have documentation. She also briefly raged about the female police officer in Inglewood who called Benson a self-proclaimed First Amendment auditor in a recent police report on Benson's encounter with the homeless woman. The activist warned that the officer needed to learn not to mess with her, as she was fresh off of a $130,000 win from settling multiple lawsuits with the Denver Police Department and seemed out to get a payout from the Inglewood Police Department as well. Claiming that she encountered the officer on Thursday, she said that she called herself a dirty cop watcher to the officer while calling the officer a bitch and a dumb rock. Benson was approached by several homeless people during her activities in the heat on Friday. She had a brief altercation with a homeless man wearing a heavy winter coat in the 100-degree heat. She attempted to give the man a t-shirt and bottled water, which saw the man initially tell her to go violate herself before the man calmed down and accepted her offerings. The dirty cop watcher recapped her encounters with Phil over the years and seemed saddened that he was the last survivor of 3 men she had previously housed in a hotel during the winter of 2022. While the other 2 men have died, one's ashes being worn as part of a necklace Benson occasionally wears, she temporarily showed human emotions before catching herself and returning to her usual attitude. Ultimately, Benson's car began to overheat, and she gave up on her search for Phil. His quest for his mail will have to wait for another live stream, as she bid her audience one last goodbye before shutting down the stream.
Okay, that was Regan Benson. What'd you think of Regan?
Well, I mean, how many necklaces can a woman wear at the same time? Should she get like separate necklaces for each of the keepsakes, or should she put them all on the same necklace like a charm bracelet? I really don't know.
Because she's supposed to be getting some of Cowboy's ashes too. Cowboy died last year, and she's supposed to be getting some of that to put in another necklace. So she'll have Jesse and Cowboy, and if this Phil turns up dead, that's number 3.
Right, at least.
I mean, don't go to Denver, folks. You're going to end up on either around her neck or on her keychain. That's the whole frickin' thing.
It's upsetting. Very, very upsetting. And she's another one that's going to be fucking insufferable for the foreseeable future with her couple of years worth of salary that she got from them.
I mean, she literally got $130,000 to go away. And then she didn't go away. She's pursuing... Yeah, she's pursuing even more charges against the Denver police force, and she's still gonna go after Inglewood's police force. And the other day it was so insane because she was literally recruiting people to sit outside Inglewood, the entrances to the police part of their parking lot at the police headquarters, just to monitor the comings and goings of police officers to see if they were violating any traffic laws.
Mm-hmm. Right?
Because she's insane.
She's insane that she just wants to hassle them. We talked about this the other day. If she really wanted to know all that information, she could requisition the records for the GPS trackers. And if they don't have GPS trackers with like fleet services, then there's, something to put towards like city council or whatever to, allocate the funds to get that technology. But no, she just wants to inconvenience and hassle people. That's the point. Yeah.
I mean, it was nice that on Friday it was 100 degrees out. She was handing out water and ice, water that she's frozen.
Electrolytes? Right, and electrolytes as well, correct? Yeah. No, that's
But then she
great.
got in a
But
fight with one of them
no,
but
that's
then she
great.
got in a
But
fight with one of them while on camera because he was
right,
wearing a heavy
right,
coat. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So,
Well, she does some nice things occasionally. She gives out those gift cards. She gives people trash food from the dollar store. You know, she
oh, she
does try to
stopped doing
connect
that.
people. Oh, okay. Well, she used to. Now she's doing
Yeah.
electrolytes and water and maybe some bananas or something. But none of that makes up for the fact that she's a trash person that terrorizes law enforcement, the city, every employee that she can find that's even vaguely government related. She's managed to off. Where are we at? Like, how many people has she been involved in their death in like a fringe kind of
Uh,
way? Are we at like
I know
16 or something like that?
it's a lot of people, but then again, a lot of homeless people die on the streets, especially in Denver, where they can't get housing.
Right,
But
right.
yeah,
I'm not saying she's the reason for them passing away, but she's so self-righteous and she's so involved and she helps in ways that are not entirely beneficial to these people. So she provides resources and situations where they are not going to thrive. It is like a fundamental impossibility for them to thrive under these circumstances. So it's not assistance and help. It's not good. It's not a good
and
intervention.
and yes, Salacious, we're talking about Regan, but we're about to go back to everyone's favorite person in the world. Pants, again, look down. You don't need to see this. Rose, make him turn away. Make Pants turn away. And get ready for our final story of the night. Be ready?
Mm-hmm.
Flashback July 14th, 2023. Turtleboy holds emergency live stream. Turtleboy Aiden Kearney held an emergency live stream Friday afternoon to address rumors posted in the Justice for John and Karen Facebook group, t-shirt sales in support of alleged murderess Karen Reed, and his involvement as a witness in the case. The award-winning journalist started the broadcast by admitting that he was no longer acting as a journalist in the case of Karen Reed, a Massachusetts woman accused of hitting her police officer boyfriend with her car.
Okay. This is important here because the live stream is still up. And this was 1 year ago. He said, I am not a journalist in this case. I am an activist.
Right.
And in the felony charges, he is now saying, oh, I'm a journalist. Everything I did, I've never stopped being a journalist. Everything I did is journalism. When he openly admitted that he was an activist on that podcast.
Right. Right. I think that's when Karen's team was wavering as to whether or not they wanted his involvement or not. So we had to kind of like publicly step back a little bit and redefine himself, but still be involved. You know.
And that's when he was, he'll get to it in a second, when he was running, he was doing fundraising efforts where he was keeping half the money.
Is this when the two Facebook groups were the Facebook group split and there was conflict between them and who was keeping the profits
I
and whatnot?
think,
Is this time frame?
yeah, because that's when he first came out with the Karen Reed t-shirts for like $50 a t-shirt and was keeping it all. Yeah.
Right.
So we'll get into it in a second. But yeah, he went from being, I'm not a journalist, to, oh, I was a journalist that whole frickin' time. That's it.
Okay. All right.
And leaving to die in the snow, and Kearney was now an activist who was making a living in part off of the work that he has done to support the case. Kearney indicated that he had a deep love for the Facebook group, but he took issue with the administrators who removed messages from people that claimed to have taken part in a federal grand jury investigation of the case, stating that when the messages are left up, he can contact the people directly and report on more information about what the grand jury is looking into. The YouTuber stated that leaking information from a grand jury has never made an impact on a federal grand jury, and that users of the Facebook group were deluding themselves if they thought their messages had any impact on the case itself. Kearney went on to claim that he was now part of the case, as he was asked to sign an affidavit confirming that he had talked to witness Mike McCabe's brother Sean, who allegedly implicated himself and the judge in the case in wrongdoing. Stating that he was a linchpin to the case, whose reporting was primarily responsible for...
Okay, that...
There's like a lizard there. A lizard about to die in the sun with his little L. Ron Hubbard teeth.
Oh, good Lord. I think we're scaring away customers. Yeah, we scared one away with that one. But yeah, the more disturbing part is he was openly admitting that if they came forward saying that they had been contacted by the grand jury, he was then going to interview them about what they said to the grand jury. It's just interference, you know? It's just, he was getting involved in the grand jury even back then. Before all the Lindsay Gaetini stuff, he was literally contacting witnesses who said they were involved with the grand juries.
Right, which has resulted in what, 19 indictments plus the Gaetini charges?
Yep. It's going to be an interesting rest of the year because the Karen Reed retrial will know the date on the 22nd, so about a week. About a week from tomorrow, and then Turtleboy will know at the end of August when he's going on trial, more than likely, if the Commonwealth complies with all the stuff they were supposed to do. I do like the new special prosecutor. I hope that Mello stays away for his own health issues. But the new guy just doesn't take anything from anybody.
No, I do like him quite a bit more. I mean, Mello was a fine man. He's a nice person, but he was not in a position to take on this case. That's just the fact of the matter there. And I appreciate that this is a retired judge as well. You know,
right.
there's because I think with a lot of Aiden's behavior and his charges, it's less about the people themselves that were intimidated and hassled and terrorized, and I think it's more about the attack on the actual system and the court itself. And I think a judge has a special appreciation of the danger that it puts our systems in when people behave like this.
Right. And right now, Turtleboy has been attacking Cosgrove all weekend. He and his little associates have been saying that Cosgrove was retired. He's just milking the Commonwealth for money now.
No, this is what a lot of retired judges come back as special prosecutors. They do mediation work. There's a lot of different, like, second and tertiary career options that a retired judge has, and this is one of them, and I think it's a great position for him to be in.
Right.
Karen Reed raising $116,000 for a defense fund, Kearney requested that the public stop sending him information and their thoughts about theories on the case. Kearney claimed that he had talked to witnesses directly and that if he told anyone to trust me, they should trust him without question, as he knows things that he cannot reveal at this time. Kearney addressed...
Also, just a side note, I believe this was the live stream where he suddenly stopped and said, "I gotta go to the can," and there was a 5-minute delay as he was apparently peeing, with just an empty room on the screen. He didn't even go to music or anything. He just left the camera on as he left the room to pee.
he was walking away from his show kind of quite a bit in this bit of time right here. Like, I think there was like a 15-minute just empty silence at some point. I think he freaked
Right.
out when a couple pizzas came to the house as well. I think the cops showed up at some point. Like, his show got a little rough there for about a 2-month period.
Right. It was weird. And then he started getting swatted. People started calling in SWAT stuff against him. But then he instantly figured it out and got restraining orders against those people. But it was an interesting time. But I'm just like, when we were covering the Karen Reed murder case, and yes, we'll be covering the next one. When we were doing the trial, if there was an unexpected time where we didn't have anything to put on the air, we had music standing by, or we had Drunk Girl standing by, or we always had something in case I would be on my own and needed, to fill 5 minutes. If Phil and Hank couldn't be there, I could throw something up and answer the door, use the bathroom, or whatever, without announcing, "Hey, I gotta poop! I'll be right back in 5 minutes, I gotta poop!" I know we're a tiny stream, funny. But I know well enough not to announce that you have to poop.
Right, nobody wants that. Nobody wants that.
Yeah.
Turtleboy likes to live in the lurch where he's a successful podcaster, broadcaster, journalist with a successful show that he produces. Like, he has a team, but he doesn't have a team. He doesn't know how to edit videos, but here's some edited videos. Like, it's a very bizarre mix of where he wants to be lauded and acknowledged for his accomplishments, yet he doesn't want to publicly say he has specific types of skills, and then he doesn't utilize those skills. Like, it's really weird, and I don't understand it.
Okay, let's finish this out because we're over time.
As critics of his fundraising efforts for Reed, stating that he kept half of the $2,060 raised for her in a recent fundraiser, and that he kept all the money raised through the sales of the free Karen Reed t-shirts on his website. The YouTuber claimed that he kept all the profits from the approximately 50 t-shirts that he has sold, as this was now his primary job, and he would continue to raise money off the case in order to support his family and continue his activism on the behalf of Karen Reed.
Well, that was that. So he was making money off of Karen Reed back then too, and he still does.
Yeah. I think there was the ethical question back then that the early free Karen readers were wanting Karen to benefit from that a little bit more, but they all seem to fall right in line with Turtleboy, that was his money and he'll do what he wants with it.
Yeah, it made cult of personality for Turtleboy for some time there.
Mm-hmm.
Folks, well, that's our experiment for tonight with the widescreen format. We'll see if we get even a bump from this. Thank you all for being with us tonight. We'll be back tomorrow night at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. We will be back in widescreen, not the vertical. Sorry, it's a vertical format on this one. We'll be back in widescreen format in about 50 minutes with our pre-show to Chili's return. The whole panel with we'll have. I know we'll have Pants and Verbo. Don't know about the rest of the folks, but we'll see who shows up for the panel discussion in about 50 minutes. So thank you again for being with us, and hello, Facebook Karen.
Hello, Karen. Good night.
Any last words, Verbo?
It's been a weird 24 hours for Americans. Give yourself a break. Take a break. Try to get a nap in at some point. Don't be too upset. It's a weird world out there.
Yes, it is. And on that note, let's try our new closing credits.
Sat back.